Hi, I'm Suri and this is Kremchis. It is so nice to meet you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We talk about movies and shows and stories and pretty much anything that falls in the realm of that or in between that. And if you're coming back to the channel, welcome again to you. It is so nice to see you again. I basically wanted to take the time to talk about two movies which I have rewatched and rewatched to the point of obsession because of how perfect the movies are. They are both thriller films. They are both Indian films, and they are an ode to the fact that Indian cinema is taking amazing risks with its storytelling. It is trusting the audience more. It is taking time to write out a script which is, very considerate of a very considerate of an audience that is not very forgiving, which I know it makes it seem like I'm trying to call the audiences like villainous, but no, what I'm trying to say is that when you take cinematic license into concern, there will be some movies that take like cinematic license to the point where it just doesn't make any sense anymore, or it has been used so many times that it's just like, oh, okay, because it's the movies, and you kind of just immediately, lose a little interest because of that. These two directors have basically taken into consideration that the audience is going to find faults. They may not be forgiving about it, but if we take care of that, we'll be able to create a story which is so entertaining and so amazing. And I don't want to waste too much time just talking about the details of the movies because I don't want to spoil them. So I'm trying to keep this as short as possible. The first movie, what I want to talk about, which is really been spoken about a lot in the past year, but I think that it deserves recognition, especially in terms of just understanding good thriller storytelling, good plot twist storytelling, and that movie is Maharaja. It is so well made. It is perfect. There is no gap for me because I went back looking for loopholes. I'm like, hey, maybe this over here kind of did not track in terms of the style of the storytelling, because this movie is set in a very dark universe. It is very twisted. It is very, you feel a certain heaviness when you're watching it. It has Vijay Sethupathi as the central character. His name is Maharaja, which basically means like king of kings, monarch, emperor. But he is just he's a barber. He's a simple man. He has a wife and a child, and he's just he's like this common guy who's just trying to live his life and be a good man. And you basically through the story understand why the name Maharaja is so fitting for him. And the movie has the central antagonist that is played by the great Anurag Kashyap. And if you have watched his movies, he's a director. He doesn't act in movies that often, so this is like a special treat for us because he is also a very good actor. If you haven't watched the cinema, I do recommend watching Ugly, Gangs of Wasseypur. They're just these really well-made movies which again, like Maharaja, have taken risks and led audiences to like a universe that they do not see coming. um, I don't want to go into, like I said, into too many details about the movie, but I will say that the non-linear storytelling in this movie is one of the best that I've ever seen. And if you are a person who likes movies like Sixth Sense, then I highly recommend watching this movie because it does not leave any room for you to actually think about where the story is going. That's how quick and fantastic the editing is. uh, Mr. Sethupathi has, with his eyes, expressed a million emotions. He's just perfect in this, and it's made in Tamil. So if you don't speak Tamil like me, please just watch it anyway. Because just switch on the subtitles and watch it. It's on Netflix. You're gonna have such a good time when you watch it. I guarantee you that. And please bear in mind that I know a lot of people are very obsessed with the ending of this movie, which of course, chef's kiss, it is perfect, but it's the setup of the ending for me which I think is the greater hero in the story, the way they have set up the ending. Because I think that that plot twist, that ending is, while it is phenomenal, it is also something which has been attempted in cinema or in storytelling. But the setup for the ending has not been attempted. I guarantee you that, because they have like taken perspective storytelling to a completely different level. They have considered that when you're talking about a movie and you're talking about parallel timelines, you have to consider the point of view, like who is, from whose point of view are you seeing the story, from the point of view of the villain or the hero, or the bystander. And that's kind of what this movie is about. Maharaja goes through a very massive tragedy, and he's a bystander in this tragedy. He watches it happen, and that is what makes this movie more interesting, because you see him basically go through something that he did not deserve. And it's it's the pain of this character that drives the story basically. And it's just, it's just a perfect movie. I can't stress enough. Please do watch it. It is one of the greats of I think Indian storytelling when it comes to thrillers, at least top 10 for me. Another movie which is top 10 for me right now in the thriller genre is a Marathi film called Vaalvi. If you're not familiar with Marathi, Vaalvi means termites. And again, please don't let a movie that needs subtitles stop you from watching this perfect thriller. To the point where the director, Prakash Mukashi, who has made one of my favorite films of all time, Harishchandrachi Factory, he basically had this like teaser where the actors are like trying to talk about the movie, and he stops them like, say, nope, don't talk about that, nope, nope, don't give this detail. And he just like creates like this eerie mystery around, like, no, we can't even talk about what the story is about. Like this story has so many spoilers, so many plot twists. And I think that's why like I was immediately attracted to the movie the second I saw the teaser. I highly recommend that you watch it. If you do want to know the premise of it, then I'm going to give a premise right now. So to anyone who does not want to know anything about it and just wants to go and watch it, I would recommend turning off this video right now. But please like, share, and subscribe before you do. And okay, I'm going to basically give you a small little introduction to the story. Vaalvi is also a thriller like Maharaja, but Vaalvi does not have the tones of like very dark, twisted tones, even though it's a very dark story. So for the first, I think, 7 to 8 minutes of the movie, you're watching this man plot out the murder of his wife because he's fallen in love with this new woman and he doesn't want his wife anymore. And his wife is like this ditzy, quirky scientist who is doing some research on termites, which is the title of the movie, Vaalvi. And I don't want to go into detail about why she's researching these termites because that's a very essential part of her character. I want you to discover that on your own. But the story is basically him and his entire plot along with his mistress on how he's going to kill his wife and get away with it. And the plot is actually, I hate to admit it, the plot is foolproof. And they're basically testing out the theory every which way. They're practicing, they're rehearsing, which gives you chills when you think about that. Like when somebody's plotting a murder, they have a practice run of the murder, which is just horrifying. But the story is very funny. It has these very quick, dark comedic quips, which makes the movie so interesting. It is very fast paced like Maharaja, so please pay attention. Do not do this while you're doing some chores. Like you have to sit down and pay attention to both of these movies. I don't want to talk anything more about it. Vaalvi had a fantastic cast, great actors. Each and every character, from the antagonist to the people who are just witnesses of what is happening, everyone was perfect. The husband is played by Swapnil Joshi, and he's just very, he is very, my God, he is, he's playing like the worst character ever, and you will love to hate him, and he's just done such a great job. I highly recommend that you watch these two movies. Please like, share, and subscribe. Do let me know if you've already watched the cinema, and if you want to talk about anything else in the comments. Perhaps you want to maybe talk about your favorite moments, and maybe put like spoiler alert before you like put the comment down. But yes, do let me know what you think about this video, and it is so nice to see you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.